Let's get into ANSYS, and as we are doing that, I will relate what we are doing in ANSYS to what we discussed in pre-analysis, and that's really important to move beyond button pushing and start thinking like an expert. Go to Start, All Programs, and you can see I have multiple versions of ANSYS installed on this machine. I'll use the latest, ANSYS 17.1 and Workbench 17.1. Once ANSYS starts up, you will see these analysis, various analysis systems, and you can think of these as, giving you access to different kinds of mathematical models that come up in engineering. And drag static structural into the project page. And when we do that, we are giving ANSYS an important clue about what is a mathematical model to be solved. I'll come back to that point later. And give it a suitable name. So I will say this is Euler-Bernoulli model of beam. Okay? And we'll come to engineering data later on. Let's go to geometry. So double click on geometry. I'll maximize this. And this is the geometry engine, the design modeler. And the first thing I want to do is draw the midline of the beam, because that's what is accounted for in the mathematical model. Let's do that. Highlight XY plane, and so I'll go into the sketching mode here, and I'll look at the plane. So I'll say, hey, I want to look at the XY plane on which I'm going to do my sketch, and I want to make sure. So I'll go into constraints and make sure auto constraints is turned on, because in an earlier version it got turned off and that created headaches. So okay, it's turned on. And I'll show you in a second what's the implication of that. So I'll go to Draw, select Line, and hover around the axis, the origin, until you see the P, and that indicates that the cursor is coincident with the axis, and that's what constraints does. So it'll constrain the start of the line to the origin. And then you can see the H shows that the line is horizontal, and C, indicates that the line is coincident with the horizontal axis, which is what we want. And you can draw any arbitrary length for the line. Okay? And let's dimension the line. The length of the beam is 4 meters. So I will just go to dimensions. So I'll go into the dimensions toolbar, and I can just leave that as general and drag the dimension for that line. And I'll set that to the length of the beam, 4 meters. And I can zoom in here using the right mouse button and drawing a rectangle. And then we need to do, if I go back to modeling, okay, it's just a sketch. Now I need to convert that sketch into a body, and it's only bodies that get transferred into the solver. So let's create a body from that line. To do that, I go to Concept, and I'll say Lines from Sketches. And I will click on the anywhere on the sketch, and I'll say Apply, and then I'll say Generate. And now you see my line is, the sketch has been converted to a body. In 3D, this is going to be, you'll draw a 2D sketch, and then you'll extrude it, say, and you'll get like a 3D volume, and that'll be your body. Here, the sketch as well as the body is a line. And this is what gets passed on to the solver. Okay, so we have drawn the midline of the beam, and let's save the project. So I'll say, in fact, I'll go back to this, the main, the project page, and I'll say File, Save, and I'll go to convenient folder, and I'll give it, you can call it, I can give it a suitable name. I'll just call it Beam, and say Save. And if I go to the folder, I will see that it created this file. This is a WBPJ file, and it created an associated folder. And this backup file will go away when you exit ANSYS. You need both this file and the folder to recover, to restart the project. If you don't have this folder, you cannot restart the project. I've seen students tripping up on that. And I have a video where I discuss saving in more detail, and that video is from my online course. I'll try to make a link to that video on the page on which this video is embedded. We need to do one more thing to complete the geometry specification, which is we need to give it cross-sectional properties. Let's take a look at that next.